There's competitors out there and challengers out there to put out the wrong story about our intentions of AFRICOM, our intentions of U.S. government, and I need to be able to tell that story. Mm-hmm. And Scar, you let me tell this story.
Yeah.
That
who are the biggest targets or adversaries for the U.S. Africa Command, and who are you focused and zoning into right now?
let me just say this. What our biggest thing is getting our message of all the good things we want to do in partnering with our African. And I'd say that sometimes that's challenged by misinformation or disinformation. There's competitors out there and challengers out there to put out the wrong story about our intentions of AFRICOM, our intentions of U.S. government, and I need to be able to tell that story. Mm-hmm. And Scar, you let me tell this story.
Yeah.
That we identify and we have common goals of the partners that we work with, common values, and they identify how we can help, and they lead it.
Okay.
That's the truth. There's no hidden agenda. Mm-hmm. That's the story I want to be able to tell, and not a story of that we have ulterior motives.
Yeah. How does social media play into all of this?
It plays big time because that space has been is fraught with misinformation, and I just say disinformation. Disinformation is intentionally changing the story of the intentions of AFRICOM or the U.S. government writ large. Whereas they don't tell the whole story of our whole of government approach. They don't tell about what USAID is doing, especially the PEPFAR program, the President's Emergency Action Program against AIDS, and how it's extended in a number of countries life expectancy by 20 years. Okay? Or our fight against malaria, or just overall the humanitarian assistance across the globe. You know who when in Sudan, when Hamedi and Burhan started fighting back last year, you know who was there because the people in the Darfur region were suffering? You know who was there? United States International Development Agency. Agency for International Development was there ready to push aid. People don't tell that story. That's the whole of government. We work with USAID and State Department to provide, especially in consequence, especially when it's a crisis, whether it be floods, whether it be famine. U.S. AFRICOM works with we call ourselves the 3D of diplomacy and defense and development. Okay. Someone taking that story and trying to turn it, it's hard to do that because I'm telling the story. This is what really happens. We're trying to help the people that are suffering on the continent of Africa.
That's great. I'm just thinking out loud. I think I can throw it at you. It's like with world ideologies, it's starting to look like it's either you're with us or you're with them type of energy. I don't know, because we have neighbors who probably, you have a lot of people who have some resistance to the presence of the United States within the continent. Is that what really the policy is? If you're not with us, then you're against us, or how does it work? Because
like I said, this was, I'm mainly from the defense perspective.
Yes, sir.
But I listen and I learn.
Yes, sir.
I would never go into a setting and engage with our partners and say, hey, either them or us.
Yeah.
No, we don't dictate that.
Yeah.
We listen. And I heard one phrase, I won't throw it out now, but it's on. One president said, "Hey, we don't face east, we don't face west, we face forward, and we march forward."
Yeah.
That was one of the presidents from the continent of Africa, and we understand that. Mm-hmm. So when I engage with our partners, we don't say, "Hey, either them or us."
Yeah.
No, we don't force them to choose.
Yeah.
We listen. We listen to what they need, and we tailor what we have to see if we're the right solution to go forward. And with our value proposition, I am slanted in that direction. I know that what we present as a U.S. government, that it is the countries that ask, we're there to help.
Yes, and I think I didn't get the answer about the long-term goals of the Africa Command in the next couple of years. How do you see it further developing and helping the African continent face all of these threats that exist in the world? Because it can be anything, anytime, any day. So how do we get better as a collective?
Yes, I'd say that the long-term goal, across any campaign, would be able to hit the prominent objectives. And I will say it again, the prominent objectives, when I say security and stability, are the precursors of being able to affect prosperity, rights and freedoms of the people, transparency by governments, institutionalizing, professionalizing these governments to be able to serve their own people. That's the long-term goal.
Yes.
The security construct is a piece of that.
Okay. Awesome stuff. And I want to know personally from you, where is it? Because I want to know, like, the most challenging aspect of having a role like this and being a leader of men and women throughout the whole continent. What are some of the most challenging aspects of your job?
Well, I just say that at the strategic level, being able to communicate my message, and that message being received the right way, the way I intend it to be received, to be able to tell the story across our African partners, and it be compelling enough to be a positive influence, inspirational influence, to work together with shared values and shared objectives. That is a tasking within itself.
Yes, sir.
That's something I have to continue to work on, because there are other misinformation and disinformation, a lot of mediums in which you can receive information. So I'd say, when you ask me that, Scar, what is the biggest challenge? The challenge is there. Yes, it is. But I'm enjoying it. Because you give me this opportunity today to talk to the masses. I know how many people follow you. I know how many people watch your telecast. So, yes. So I just want to say thank you. We try to address intervention measures. So it's not just the military that does this. It had to be a whole of government to try to intervene in that, by building institutions that address these causes.
Okay, awesome. I want to know about, like, how the U.S. Africa Command collaborates with the African military and to enhance security and stability. What are some of the things on offer from having a command based in Africa?
Yes, well, I will tell you that when we work with our African partners, every country has done their own assessment of their own military and building partnership capacity. And when they come to AFRICOM, or if I go visit them, they say, okay, I think we have, in this particular domain, we're good. But in the intelligence domain or logistical domain, could you help us increase our capacity and capability in this, whether it be through education, exercises, and that's how we operate. They identify what they need, and we see what within our capability to help and together. And then they share ideas, because that exchange goes two ways.
Yes, sir.
Okay, some things that they master that we learn, our forces learn from them.
Awesome. And like these solutions and the support that the U.S. officers offer to African armies, do they better address the situation? How do we know that they're effective? Because, maybe the guys on the ground probably understand it better. How do we make sure that there is a collaboration and it's not, we're coming here to take over and we'll secure everything, and then, the armies of the day, I guess, take a back seat to the advice that the U.S. Army, the Marine Corps is giving?
Scar, that's a great question. And I've been asked that question before, or they said, okay, when you say you want access and influence with these countries, we try our best to just answer to the call of a request. Some countries say, hey, we got this. We just need a little bit here. So at Africa, we don't impose ourselves. We listen. Like I said, my campaign of learning was me listening to what these countries say, that, hey, I have the solution set for security. We just need the U.S. help in this particular area. And so it's very nuanced approach, very tailored approach that's led by our African partners.
Thank you all, fam, for sticking with us till now. Thank you all so much for your love and support. We also welcome our new members, channel members here. On this channel, we post videos that will inspire you and educate you on what is happening in and around Africa and even our world as a whole. We hope you enjoyed today's content. General Langley in recent times has gone viral all over Africa, has sparked some protests all over the world because of certain comments he made concerning Ibrahim Traoré and our Sahel neighbors. And so in this video, he was being asked certain questions and he responded as well. We hope you enjoyed every single detail of this video, and until then we will meet again. Peace out.
I like that.